this subject that I want to talk to you about is about being uncomfortable.
Okay.
And then I want to talk about it. For example, I want to give you an example. Of course, it's going to be apply in so many different versions of being uncomfortable. One version is, let's say I am going to a room that is filled with so many smart people, lots of knowledge, and I barely know what the hell they're talking about. I don't have the knowledge that they have. And then, so I'm very uncomfortable. How does that make me feel?
Okay.
Okay. I can start with myself.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
So how does this information impact me? I got to a term accepting I don't need to be good at everything. You know? I need to be me. And there is no way, I'm not a robot, I'm not going to be good at everything. But there is certain things that I'm very good at, and at any moment that I'm at any room, sitting there and feeling everyone knows or has way more than me, there is one sentence I repeat to myself within the first 1 to 5 minutes while I'm sitting there. I always tell myself, Helen, be yourself. And as soon as I say that to myself, I'm like, yes, I don't need to be any of this. I can appreciate being here. I can appreciate being exposed to all of this. I can learn. I'm a student sitting here, but I'm myself. And I know this much.
Yeah.
But I'm proud that I know this. This sets me. It
stabilizes
it stabilizes
you.
me, it centers me, it gives me the power. I regain my power every time that I'm in the middle of like people that are parliament. They're like top, I don't know, they know numbers like I have no idea what are they talking about. And I'm like, Helen, be yourself. So, gonna go to you.
Yeah, I'm thinking of exactly that scenario for myself. And I empathize with that state of feeling uncomfortable, or I'll say in my case, like less than. You know, there's, again, I don't think of myself as, I don't have an MBA. I don't think in terms of business strategy or finance per se. It's obviously part of running a business, and so I've learned along the way. But I'm trying to expose myself to more understanding about investment and the financial piece of this broader, outside of my industry, outside of my job. And that puts me into these rooms where people are light years ahead of, I mean, I don't speak the language. I don't speak their language. On the one hand, that makes me very insecure. That makes me feel less than. I feel like everyone is smarter than me. And then it's funny because we'll get pitches from people seeking money, and I'll sit there as everyone else is asking questions or not asking questions, and I'll be like, I mean, this seems like I've got some real basic ones, but that's got to be too dumb. Like someone, like everyone else knows the answer to this question, so I don't even want to ask it. And then occasionally I do ask it, and I realize that as much as it isn't about the core of the financial piece or something, that it's a question that unravels something for good or bad about the pitch, and that I have value in this room. And that my value is something that's more emotional than it is fiscal. That it's not about the numbers for me. I don't speak that language, but that I do have value in the room. That there is a purpose for me in this room. Okay. But I do find myself feeling uncomfortable. I do find myself feeling FOMO. I'll take it into a different place. I know you're going to find this shocking, but
Tell me.
I find that I get along with women better than I get along with men.
Well, this one I know. This one I know because I get along with you so well. It's like, and I'm so connected with you, just like a best girlfriend that I have.
There you
So,
go.
like, you have certain quality in you that it makes you very easy approachable, very easy to open my heart, very easy to be very vulnerable in front of you. So it just, there is a very high qualities in you that woman seeks, which you have, that makes it very easy. Lots of women approaching you.
So the counter to that is men. And I struggle with groups of guys. I do not like sports. And sports is a great, quick equalizer. You know, you can walk into a room of strangers and be like, how about the Mets? You know, and people are like, oh my God, the Mets. And I'm like, I got nothing. I got nothing. How are you feeling today? And they're like, fuck off.
Oh
like,
my God. Adam, do you think you're emotional intelligent? You're way more emotionally intelligent compared to men?
I would not presume to say that. I don't know. I just think that, yeah, I don't know.
Oh my, I may think you might, because what is the number one thing that women suffers with, like, men's are not emotional, like they don't even get it. Like, if we're talking about apples, they answer you about talking about oranges, you know. But you, oh my God, see?
Yeah. But again, we're talking about being uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. Does that make you uncomfortable?
Being in a boys' room, a dude's room, like our chapter.
Really?
So we're in YPO together. We didn't actually say that, but that's how we met.
Yes.
That's how we know each other.
Yes.
And there are you know, there are groups within our group that I struggle to connect to, and I want to, and that's the problem. That's the problem. I don't have like you do you, you know.
I see.
And instead I'm like, oh hi, I just want to be one, like everyone like me, because I'm such a pleaser and I want to be liked. But I'm not. I don't operate on the same wavelength.
I see. Okay, I want to give you an example and tell me what you think about this.
Okay.
I don't like to sit with the average woman.
Okay.
I absolutely don't like. I can't connect. The stuff that they talk about, I just look at them and then I'm like lost. And I'm not saying I'm better or they're better or who's what, okay? So that's why when I met women in YPO and I meet women that are so independent and so like working out there always, so I can connect with them. I'm like, yes, I have something to talk about. But if I want to sit in the room with average woman, it just makes me feel like maybe I'm not a woman enough. Maybe I am like, why the stuff that they're talking about is not even like interesting to me, because my brain is also wired very masculine. My brain is wired is like, oh, like if I talk about you know, whatever, my career and what I want to do, business planning or this and that, it has to has part of the conversation. So I'm not interested in just talking about, I don't know, makeup and movies or this and that. Like, I am not wired like that. So do you think that can have?
Yeah, I do.
Besides your
Stick with
YPO.
me. Stick with me. I'll just shadow me. I'll talk to all the women. You'll understand better how to talk to the women. It'll be great.
Yeah, you're gonna coach
and I'll do
me.
the same with you.
Yes.
You can coach me on talking to dudes. Yeah, I see that, and I think that you're just finding your tribe. You know, you're just finding the people that you connect with, and it's not a matter of male or female. And I guess you could say the same for me. That it isn't. It's not like I don't connect with men. It's just a certain kind of persona, energy.
Correct.
And the challenge for me, and I don't think you suffer from this, but the challenge for me is that I have so much FOMO, so much like or envy. It's not really FOMO. It's like, oh, I want to be Like there's a part of me that wishes I were wired like that dude.
Okay, give me one guy that you
No,
feel.
I'm not going to do that on camera.
Say to it. Like this. Say, who you want? Okay, tell me one guy that you like so much in our chapter that I know of.
One person that I like and I get along with so well? Sure. It's so funny. It's a lot of the first things that come to mind are like the spouses. Like Dan Lahota is a sweet guy, and I like his energy. I connect to, and he's a good human who's engaged and listens and participates and brings energy. Tommy, I think, is very strong in himself, but still very open to connecting and communicating.
Correct.
Without changing who he is, which I think is rare. And that's another thing I think I suffer from, or it's my secret power, being a chameleon, being very easy to blend and to sort of change my energy or change my mode to match, to engage with someone. And I think one of the challenges I have is when I try to do that with someone whose energy is so different from mine, and I'm like, oh, but I'm going to be like them, and I just feel like I'm just faking it, and it's obvious that I'm faking it, and they're just like, bleh.
You can't fake.
I try.
Like for me, when I'm faking it because it's a business setting, and sometimes
It's different.
It's like, I have to do what I have to do. I'm gonna see them once in a once in a month or once in every 2-3 months. So, but I think it's so hard for me to not be myself, because somehow, like, how authentic I act with the people that I like, or I can, like, I feel like I can connect deeply, or I can understand, it will be completely different compared to if I'm faking it. Like, sooner or later, you're gonna see it in my face.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna see it in my face. Like, you will know that I don't like you.
I'm very afraid of this moment.
No, I know you for long enough. No, usually only happens to me the first 3 months.
Yeah.
If I pass the first 3 months, and I'm in a 1-year friendship with you, this does not happen. Only this is the first 3 months.
Yeah. It's interesting. You talked off camera about friendships and how we find friends. And I have found myself, because I'm such a pleaser, letting friends pick me. And that's good and bad.
Still?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I choose you? Do you choose me too?
We chose each other.
Okay,
we chose
good.
each other. I think Amy chose both of us.
Yay!
But that's something I'm still working on. And part of that is this sort of push-pull that we have about wanting connection, but wanting it on our own terms. And so I want to be wanted or desired. But when someone wants or desires me, just platonically, but there's this sort of like, okay, whoa, too much.
Yeah.
And that's a bummer. I haven't quite resolved that one yet.
Okay, so let's dissect that actually.
Sure.
So you want to be desired.
Yes.
And then you see, oh, now this person got attracted. Now this person is coming toward you. And you're like, oh, I just wanted a validation.
Correct.
Don't get too close.
Correct.
Now let me analyze to see if I want you or not.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is sometimes I don't even do that analysis. I'm just like, stranger danger. Like, I push away. I don't know.
But here's another thing. As an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
and as someone in business, and being a 1%, let's not forget you're a 1%.
Okay.
You should also feel like that.
You think because people want something from me, kind of thing? What do you mean? Why?
Yeah. So like, I feel like I don't know. I can't let everyone in. Myself, I don't. So I'm like, okay, like, I might even tell you, I will almost do the same thing too. I'm like, if you get close to me too fast, and I'm like, whoa, let's
Right.
run away.
Yeah.
You know, I need slow, steady. I need to make sure, like, this is not very temporary. Like,
Right.
I need to watch you and see how you behave, or like, who are you about? What are you about? You know.
Well, this is interesting because I think, to come back to money for a second, you and I are wired fairly differently for money. I think. I'm just
Tell me.
from the outside.
Tell me, how
From
do
the
you think
outside.
I'm wired with money?
Right. I think my experience of you, and forgive me if this is,
Absolutely. Tell me.
but that
You didn't tell me.
money for you is an expression of all right, I have done something. I have achieved. I have gotten out of the hole I was in, and I'm going to show the world I am not that person. I have graduated. I am more now. And so money is, and just things. It's not even now it's not the money, it's the things. It's the beautiful home, it's the beautiful cars, it's the beautiful couture or fashion, and it's all of those things that put together speak to that sense of self, that sense of I am worthy. I have built something. So that's how I think when I sort of see that piece in you. Okay. And for myself, and I'm, there are exceptions to this. Obviously, I've got stuff, but I live very much, sort of below my means because I'm afraid of money, and I'm afraid of losing it. Yeah, and as much as I say earlier, I'm no fear. Like I could be homeless and I'd be fine. Yeah. The counter to that, the flip side of that same coin is I'm afraid of spending too much and going off on a cliff financially where if it goes wrong, I'll fall. And so instead I live below my means and I don't get too flashy. I don't get too anything because if it all goes away, I want to be able to maintain.
I see.
So I've been in that same house that you've come to visit. I've been in that same house since I was 29 years old.
I see.
When I was a designer, I bought that house and I've never moved. And and that's sort of fear in some ways.
I wanna tell you this now how I see money.
Yeah.
So when I was in my journey of saving myself, I heard this quote. It says, whatever relationship you're going to have with money, you will send that energy to universe and you will attract it and you will bring it. So I told myself, I'm going to believe that money grows on trees. So I feel like I released something. I released a certain energy. And I said, I'm going to have a very good relationship with money. I'm going to be a tool to make money for myself and for people around me. And I allowed universe to use me as a tool, as that funnel to receive this money. And as I'm growing, as my personal growth and my, business growth, personal growth, like the funnel keep getting bigger and bigger.
Amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so when I'm in a relationship, and then when I start more and more loving myself, I'm like, what makes you happy? I'm like, this outfit makes me like, I am the head of beauty pageants, so it makes me feel so good. I start making myself happy with things. And then they did play a very good, big role in my life until my 2018 and 2019 traveling in the countries like Iran or very poor part of Mexico, which I went so simple.
Yeah.
For the first time, I was not getting the attention that I'm
Right.
getting, the respect that I'm getting. I'm like, come on, why are you treating like me? Like I'm gonna go back to my own bubble so I can get the respect that I'm getting all the time.
Interesting.
And it was the most personal growth that I had in that time because I just realized I need to matter to myself.
Well, okay, yes, but you're framing that as when you're here in one space in with all the stuff that you get respect and you seem to matter to other people.
To other people.
Right.
It seems like it mattered to other people.
Right, yes.
But then when I was there,
Right.
I did not matter to
Right.
other people.
Without the stuff.
Without the stuff, how did I feel about myself?
Yeah.
So when I learned to have the same feeling that I have right now, I start give myself more value and more respect because for first time I was exposed. It wasn't first time because, my whole business journey started like 2013, 14. So it's not like I lived this extraordinary life, no. So it was just, but you forget. Even
Right.
if it's 4 or 5 years, you forget so fast. You think this was you your whole life.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So when I went back to that moments that I'm standing there and people treating me like shit, I mean nothing to nobody, and I had to be so content with myself. It was the first time I was exposed to that idea. And then to gain my to gain my confidence in those kind of moments, I did every couple of months a practice to be able to take off all this, items, shiny items, and I still feel good about myself. And that goes back again when people start telling me, you walk on this earth like you own everywhere. My confidence starts, and it's so new, it's only 2 years.
Wow.
It's only 2 years that I was able to reach a confidence that I just realized is how I see myself.
And so was the turning point 2 years ago that experience of Mexico
And Iran, yeah.
Okay. And so have you so you have put yourself in situations where you're stripped down and no one knows who you are, no one gives a shit about you.
Yeah.
And you've intentionally gone back to that.
Yeah.
And you found
to feel good about myself, to find a way to feel good about myself, and to value myself.
Yeah.
Because also I want to add to something that you may not be exposed to it. I'm a girl. What is the number one, tell me more, what is the number one value that women find in themselves? Their beauty. Their beauty.
Yeah.
How I'm going to feel if I'm not representing beauty, how I'm going to feel about myself. If I don't, I need to feel beautiful in order to feel like I have value. Is my value is tied in to my looks? How about if I'm going to get old? How about if this and that going to happen? How about whatever? I'm not going to say 100% I know the feeling because I never experienced a life that my face is burned or I don't have the teeth or something major have happened to me. So I'm not going to talk about the experiences that other people had and I never had. But still looking like a shit, in my version, and I just still feel good about myself. And I want to give you example was 2 years ago, I was comfortable to show my picture from my past to other people. I said, do you know this is how I looked before?
Before that you were ashamed of it?
Yeah, I was ashamed of it.
Just
Absolutely.
like me and my movie. I can't show my movie.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
But finally, I was like, it's part of me, and I love that person. I had to make peace with that person that looks like that. I'm that person. I'm also this person.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I was at least 30 pounds heavier. Never cared about myself. Never touched my eyebrows. Never did anything. Like, you know, like my appearance meant nothing to me. So, and then just saying this is also me and be proud of her, it makes me more proud of me right now.
Can you take yourself back to that person? And was there any pride or like were you okay with yourself
Back then?
Back then.
I was not okay with myself at all.
Okay.
I was not okay with myself.
So that the
Now I'm okay.
the eyebrows and the weight or whatever was a byproduct of I don't deserve to look better?
It was a byproduct of not knowing who I am. Byproduct having no respect for myself, not even seeking respect for myself, not even know what is respect in order to go seek it for myself. And you know, at certain, like, this lifestyle, it's not very like weird that I was the only one who feel like that. I find so many Middle Eastern culture. I find so many Asian people, like so many different cultures. Like as a woman, we've been taught to never even think about ourselves because we have to serve someone else. We have to serve a family or a husband or a man, blah, blah, blah. We never even think about like, oh, let me see how I want to have boundaries and respect myself. Like those kind of stuff never even came to my head.
Right.
You know? So, and then accumulated until the day that I'm like, oh my God, I hate this person.
Right.
I hated that person.
Yeah.
But Helen today had to forgive that person who hated herself to be able to be proud of her, to be able to show her picture and still feel good about myself today.
Right.
You know?
And not like you're going to think less of me to see this photo of,
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because at some time it will make me feel less of myself if I show them like this is me, also this is me.
Right.
You know.